There is one habit every veteran carries for the rest of their life. They do it without thinking, they cannot turn it off, and other veterans can spot it from across a crowded room. Most of the habits the military gives you fade after a year or two. Marching cadence, calling everyone sir, the way you address officers. Those things come off easily once the uniform comes off. But there are 9 specific habits that do not fade. They follow veterans into retirement homes. They follow veterans into restaurants 40 years after their last deployment. They are visible to anyone who knows what to look for, and invisible to almost everyone else. By the end of this video, you will see the one habit that other veterans recognize in you from across a crowded room. Stay with us. This is a list of 9 habits that the military gives you for life. Drawn from veteran memoirs, military psychology research, and documented behavioral patterns observed in post-service veterans across every branch and every era. Counted down from 9 to 1, saving the most universal one for last. Number 9. Speaking in military acronyms. Decades later. The first habit on this list is the easiest one to catch, and most veterans do not realize they are doing it until a civilian asks them what a word means. The military runs on acronyms: PCS, Permanent Change of Station; MOS, Military Occupational Specialty; SITREP, Situation Report; POG, Person Other Than Grunt; BOHICA, Bend Over, Here It Comes Again. By the time a service member has been in for 2 years, their everyday vocabulary is restructured. Words that take civilians 5 seconds to say take veterans 1. The habit does not stop when the uniform comes off. Veterans use military terminology decades later, at work, at family dinners, during arguments with their kids, and almost never realize they are doing it. They will say a place is 5 clicks away. They will tell their wife they are going to rack out. They will refer to their car as a bird or their kitchen as the mess. Their kids will ask what those words mean, and the veteran will sometimes pause, surprised, realizing they have been using military language their entire civilian life. This is one of the most documented post-service habits. Studies of veteran communication patterns consistently find that military vocabulary embeds permanently. ASAP, a phrase every American now uses, originated in the United States Army in 1955. The military's influence on civilian speech is so old that civilians use military slang without knowing it. For veterans, the habit goes the other direction. Civilian speech feels slightly imprecise. Military speech feels right. 40 years after their last deployment, they are still saying negative instead of no, without meaning to. But the next habit is one that drill sergeants deliberately install, and it never comes out. Number 8. Making the bed. Every single morning. The second habit is the one Admiral William McRaven made famous in his commencement speech, but every veteran has carried it since before McRaven said a word about it. During basic training, every recruit makes their bed every morning to a specific standard: hospital corners, tight sheets, pillow placement to the inch. The standard is not negotiable. Failed bed inspections produce immediate consequences: extra PT, dumped lockers, group punishments. Within 2 weeks, every recruit makes their bed correctly without thinking about it. That habit does not go away. Veterans in retirement homes still make their beds within minutes of getting up. Veterans on vacation in luxury hotels still make their beds before the housekeeping staff arrives. Their spouses learn early that nobody is allowed to leave a bed unmade, no matter how short the trip. The reason it sticks is that the habit was installed during the most intense conditioning period of the veteran's life. Basic training rewires baseline routines. Making the bed becomes a ritual marking the start of the day, a private discipline that signals to the veteran themselves that the day has officially begun. McRaven was right about why this matters. A made bed is the first task completed. It produces a small win that sets the tone for the day. But the habit is older than the speech. Every veteran from every era has done it without anyone telling them. It builds character. They do it because 40 years ago, somebody screamed at them until they did it correctly, and the muscle memory never faded. If this is the kind of military life content you have been looking for, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. There are several more on this list that catch most veterans completely off guard, and the habit at number 1 is the one civilians never see. Number 7. Showering in under 5 minutes. The third habit is one that family members notice before the veteran does. In basic training and through most early deployments, water is rationed and time is short. Recruits learn to shower in 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes less. Wet down, soap up, rinse, out. Anyone who lingers in the shower is signaling that they do not understand the situation. They get corrected fast. The habit calcifies. Veterans coming home after long deployments often try to take long, luxurious showers as a reward, then catch themselves stepping out at the 4-minute mark out of pure muscle memory. Their bodies have been trained to compress the act of bathing into a tiny window. The training never reverses. Decades later, veterans still shower in under 5 minutes. Their adult children, watching their dad disappear into the bathroom and reappear before they have finished pouring coffee, sometimes joke about it. The veteran shrugs. They do not see what the joke is. To them, a 5-minute shower is a normal shower. The civilian 30-minute shower seems wasteful. This habit is one of the most reliably documented in veteran spouse and family research. Wives and husbands of veterans consistently describe the speed shower as a defining household quirk. It does not come up in formal post-service surveys, often because veterans themselves do not recognize it as unusual. Their family does the recognizing for them. The next habit shows up at the dinner table. Number 6. Eating faster than anyone around them. This is the habit that veterans' families bring up most often, the habit the veteran himself defends. The habit no spouse can break. In basic training, recruits have approximately 5 minutes to eat a full meal. Drill sergeants stand at the dining facility doors timing them. Recruits learn to identify what they need on their tray before they sit down, eat without conversation, and finish on time. There is no second helping if you eat slowly. There is no chance to talk to a battle buddy if you eat slowly. There is, in many cases, no chance to eat at all if you eat slowly. The habit becomes automatic. Veterans home from deployment sit down to family dinners and finish their entire meal before anyone else has started theirs. They do not realize they are eating fast. They are eating at what they consider normal speed. Their family eats at what they consider normal speed. The difference can be 10 or 15 minutes per meal, every meal, for the rest of their lives. Research from the Department of Veterans Affairs has documented this pattern extensively. The fast eating habit persists at higher rates among veterans than any comparable civilian population. Some veterans develop disordered eating patterns later in life, specifically because of how military meals reshaped their relationship with food. What civilians often do not understand is that the habit is not about preference. It is about a deep, conditioned response. The body knows that food might be taken away, that time might run out, that another opportunity to eat might not come. 40 years after that condition stopped being true, the body still responds as if it might be. The next habit is one that family members can set a clock by. Number 5. Waking up before sunrise for the rest of their life. This is the habit that the veteran's spouse experiences most directly, usually before they have had their first cup of coffee. In basic training, lights come on at 4:30 in the morning. Across most of military service, the day starts before sunrise. Physical training before breakfast, inspections at dawn, meetings scheduled when most civilians are still asleep. After enough years of this, sometimes after just a few, the body resets its internal clock permanently. Mid-roll candidate. Veterans who serve 20 years or more typically wake up around 4 or 5 in the morning for the rest of their lives, without an alarm. Their bodies will not stay in bed past sunrise even when their schedule allows it. They go to bed early because of it, sometimes too early for their family's social calendar. They eat breakfast in the dark. This habit is one of the most documented post-service patterns. A retired Army Command Sergeant Major can describe his transition to civilian life as maintaining the same routines as in uniform: wake very early, conduct physical training, professional reading. That pattern is universal across veteran biographies and oral histories. The interesting part is that veterans rarely complain about this habit. They genuinely prefer the early morning. The world is quieter. productivity is higher. Decision fatigue has not started yet. Most veterans will tell you that waking up before sunrise was the single best habit the military gave them, even when their spouses disagree. But the habit at number 4 is the one most veterans wish they could shut off. Number 4, being 10 minutes early to everything. The military has a saying, if you are on time, you are late. If you are 5 minutes early, you are on time. If you are not at least 10 minutes early, you have already failed. That saying becomes a permanent personality trait. Veterans show up to medical appointments 15 minutes early. They arrive at restaurants before their reservation. They get to airports 2 hours before flights, even when they could comfortably make it with one. Their family schedules events accordingly, telling the veteran the start time is 20 minutes earlier than it actually is, because they know the veteran will show up early anyway. This habit is the source of constant low-grade friction in veteran households. The veteran cannot understand why their spouse and children are willing to arrive somewhere on time instead of early. The family cannot understand why being on time is treated as failure. Both sides eventually accept the gap and move on. What is happening underneath is conditioning. In military service, lateness carries real consequences. A late soldier is a soldier whose unit cannot move on schedule. A late officer disrupts the chain of command. A late aircraft, missile, or convoy can kill people. The military trains punctuality not as a courtesy but as a survival skill. And the body remembers that training long after the consequences have stopped applying. Decades after their last formation, veterans still time their arrivals to within 30 seconds of their target. Civilians read this as nervousness or anxiety. Veterans read it as professionalism. Neither side is entirely wrong. The next habit is the one that scares family members most, because the veteran cannot control it. Number 3, the flinch, reacting to sudden loud noises. The third to last habit on this list is the one veterans wish they did not have. It does not feel like a habit, it feels like a malfunction. Sudden loud noises produce an immediate physical response in most combat veterans. A car backfiring, a door slamming, fireworks, a balloon popping at a children's party. The veteran does not consciously decide to react. Their body has already responded. They flinch, scan for the source, sometimes drop into a crouch. Then they realize where they are and what just happened, and they straighten back up. This is not weakness. It is not even, strictly speaking, a sign of post-traumatic stress in most cases. It is a conditioned response. Combat veterans spent months or years with their nervous system calibrated to treat sudden loud sounds as life-threatening. That calibration does not reverse easily. Some veterans carry this response for the rest of their lives, even when no other trauma symptoms remain. For many veterans, the 4th of July becomes the most difficult day of the year. Independence Day fireworks trigger the flinch response in millions of veterans across the country, every single year, for hours. Veterans organizations have advocated for quieter neighborhood fireworks displays for this reason. The trade-off between celebrating the country and protecting the people who defended it is one of the more poignant ironies in American culture. The flinch is not visible to most civilians. It happens fast. The veteran usually plays it off, but other veterans see it instantly and recognize it as the signature of someone who has been somewhere most people have not. But the next habit is the one veterans deliberately do, and it is invisible to almost everyone. Number 2, scanning every room. On entry, this is the habit that drill sergeants and combat training start installing on day 1, and that combat itself reinforces permanently. When a veteran enters a room, their eyes move, not casually, methodically. Within 3 seconds of stepping through a doorway, they have identified the exits, the people, the things people are doing with their hands, and any threats present. They do not consciously decide to do this. The scan is automatic. In military training, this is called situational awareness. In civilian life, it is the habit that makes veterans the calmest person in the room during an emergency, and also the most exhausted at the end of a long day. Constant scanning takes energy. Most veterans do not realize how much energy until they spend time around other veterans and notice the shared exhaustion. The scan happens everywhere: restaurants, churches, coffee shops, the dentist's waiting room, hospitals. Any space the veteran enters gets evaluated within seconds. The veteran can usually tell you, without thinking, how many people are in the room, where the exits are, and which of the people present they would be most worried about if something went wrong. Civilians rarely notice this habit because the veteran has gotten good at hiding it. The scan looks like casual glancing. The threat assessment looks like checking the menu. The exit identification looks like looking for the restroom. But other veterans recognize the pattern instantly. A veteran can sit across from another veteran in a restaurant and know within 60 seconds that the person across from them served. The signal is that subtle, and the signal is that reliable. That single decision, to keep scanning, to keep assessing, to keep ready, is the foundation of the most universal post-service habit on this list. If this is the kind of content you have been looking for, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. We put out a new one every week, breaking down the side of military life nobody else covers. The habit at number 1 is the one other veterans can spot in you from across a crowded room. Number 1, sitting with their back to the wall. This is the habit that every veteran has, the habit that does not fade, the habit that other veterans recognize from across a crowded room, the one we promised in the opening of this video. When a veteran walks into a restaurant, a coffee shop, a meeting room, a church, anywhere with seating, they do not pick a seat at random. They pick the seat with their back to the wall and their eyes on the door. Every time, without exception, without conscious thought. This habit is not subtle once you know what to look for. Two veterans walking into a restaurant together will sometimes have an unspoken negotiation about who gets the wall seat, and the one who loses out will be visibly less comfortable for the rest of the meal. Veterans on dates will rearrange the table to face the entrance. Veterans at family gatherings will quietly take the chair against the wall, regardless of where their wife wanted to sit. The reason for the habit is older than the modern military. Back to the wall, eyes on the door is a tactical position. It eliminates the possibility of a threat approaching from behind. It allows the soldier to see any change in the room before it reaches them. It is the position drilled into every combatant from antiquity to the present because it works. Modern combat veterans carry this habit even when their combat experience was brief or limited. The training installs the preference. Combat reinforces it. Civilian life never gives the veteran a reason to unlearn it because the cost of the habit is essentially zero. Sitting against the wall is no harder than sitting facing it, and the benefit is permanent peace of mind. Other veterans recognize this immediately. A veteran walking into a restaurant can identify another veteran in the room within seconds, just by looking at who is sitting where. The man at the corner table with his back to the wall and his eyes on the door is almost always a veteran. Sometimes he is a police officer. Occasionally, he is a former intelligence officer. But far more often than chance would predict, he served. This is the habit other veterans recognize in you from across a crowded room. 40 years after your last day in uniform, you will still be sitting that way. Your kids will not understand it. Your spouse will accept it. Other veterans will look across the room and quietly nod. It is one of the smallest gestures in the world, and it tells the entire story of who you used to be. That is 9 habits the military gives you for life. None of them visible to most civilians. All of them recognizable to anyone who served. The training never really leaves. It just becomes the way you move through the world. If this resonated, subscribe so you do not miss what most people never see. We will see you there.